welcome back to another episode of Last Day on Earth Survival. Today we return, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are having an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic day of the most amazing variety. That only gets more fan-freaking-tastic from here on out. Today, we're gonna be kicking off our adventures, passing by another part of our later adventures. Yeah, that's right, Kane. We raiding the land known as Kane a little bit later today. But first things first, Shunny Jim Bobs. We got a smorgasbord of stuff, and we are setting up probably our like 69th date with Jane at this point. Jane, just give me the Leviathan already, man. I've been trying to get this Leviathan from Jane for literally the longest time in the known universe. That's right. If you fact check how long we've been doing this, we've been doing it since the beginning of the existence of the universe. Absolutely no bamboozle. Don't know what you are talking about. So Jane, please, can today be the day, finally, that you decide to give me a little something. Actually, will I even be able to get an upgrade today, or is Jane gonna be like, psych, you don't have enough stuff? Jane, please don't disappoint me at the last second. Bruh. Alright, boys and girls, luckily I was just able to actually go ahead and find one of these puppies within our inbox. Bless up for that, because Jane was just not about giving us an upgrade today. Maybe the fact that she was teasing us a little bit shows that something good's coming. Please, guys, give me the power. Show Jane that we want to get this Leviathan skin already. Smash that like button and give us the strength to hopefully finally get from Jane. Jane, one day you will run out of perks to give me that aren't the Leviathan, but until then, our disappointment will continue. But speaking of things, as we know, just the last episode we were talking about how season 1 is officially over, but actually, you guys, in case you guys do not know, can still go to Lenny over here. Now, I already do have this chopper that he was giving away. Well, not giving away, you had to pay quite a little bit for it, but I do already have it. However, the timer has actually been extended, and along with that, there's also this other very interesting thing that I feel like it have a lot of connotations for season 2 that I wanted to make sure we go ahead and have a quick talk about, because as we know, season 1 has ended, season 2 is not here yet, but there's some very interesting things going on. I wanted to recap literally all the information that we currently know about season 2 and give it to y'all. But before we do that, can we just say that the wrecked ship is still here? Like, season 1's over and the wrecked ship is still existing, which I actually think is a very interesting little thing, that I wonder if the wrecked ship in these seasons will actually continue to progress the storyline. And the fact that the wrecked ship hasn't disappeared is a little bit of a sign that maybe season 2 will start with something having to do with the wrecked ship. But without further ado, let's go over everything that we know about season 2, and boom, this is where it all begins. This was tweeted July 15th by Last Day on Earth, which kind of announced this summer, we've divided updates of the single-player part of the game into 2 large sections. Boom! And as you guys can see, when they released the Season 1 update, they literally said, we've released a large update, which besides the fact that this was the only solo update that we have gotten so far, they're literally saying, hey, in our minds, this is a large update. Now, I kind of beg to differ. There have definitely been bigger updates, and Season 1 was not as big as a lot of us were thinking it was gonna be. However, it definitely did add some cool things in the boss battle, and the fact that apparently the wrecked ship is sticking around, which is very interesting. But nonetheless, we do know that there are 2 large updates planned in the single player part of the game for this summer. And I know a lot of people were panicking when they saw that the Sector 7 update got dropped a couple of days ago. They're like, oh my god, the second update of the summer was a Sector 7 update. But no, because the Sector 7 update had nothing to do with single player. Boom! Follow me on over here and we have further confirmation that correct, there will be 2 solo updates this summer, just as they kind of talked about earlier in that first tweet, saying a little bit later, maybe the second one will be in September. Now, I know a lot of people are already like, oh, September, that's not summer, but boom. Cop a peek at this. Technically speaking, don't get me wrong, at least in my eyes, a lot of other of y'all's eyes, that was a cluster truck of a sentence, but you get what I'm saying. Summer ended like a week ago, couple of weeks ago, when we all started going to school and having homework and having responsibilities, and don't remind me, I already have way too much homework that I gotta be working working on. But you can see from the screenshot that as our supreme overlords at Google have told us, summer does not technically end until Monday, September 23rd. And remember that bike that I was talking about over at the gas station? Well, boom. Now, unfortunately, I cannot personally confirm this because as you guys can see, every time I talk to Lenny, he's like, come again for new models. But he's saying over here, this was posted in the official Last Day on Earth Discord, and it was a pinned message in all of the chats, not all the chats, but the main Last Day on Earth like discussion chat over in that Discord, saying the timer for the Paragon skin at the gas station, if you haven't completed it yet, should be running till September 15th. Rather interesting, because another thing I wanted to talk about is that with season 1 and the beginning of the season's update, we got something that coincided perfectly until they decided to extend it, but this motorcycle coincided perfectly with the duration of season 1. At first, when season 1 was supposed to be over, this motorcycle was supposed to stop being offered, but they decided to extend it, which goes to show that I believe, especially from what Lenny's saying, come again for new models, and from what we've kind of seen so far, it appears that Lenny's actually going to be a source for more models in the future, and from what we've seen, season 1 marked the beginning of him offering those models, and I believe season 2 will very well be when he gives us the next one, and that lines up very nicely with what we're seeing, because we have this one up until September 15th. From what we have seen, the summer end date is until September 23rd. That leaves us a solid week span between the end of this motorcycle and the potential beginning of season 2 from what we know so far. Now again, that is also subject to delays and all type of jazz like that, but from what we know so far, it appears that there's this kind of time frame appearing that anywhere from September 15th to September 23rd is looking like it might very well be a prime location, not location, a prime time for the addition of the season 2 update. Boom! And while we are on the topic of season 2, why don't we go over everything that we know? Because I mean, we've gone over kind of some of that time frame stuff we were talking about and kind of the interesting connections that there are with the gas station, with Lenny offering up more models and kind of how that could very well coincide with season 2. But also, this was posted a couple, I think for last week's Thursday development section or something like that, saying when it comes to the trailer of season 1, at the moment of its creation, a part of the dev team were testing the following update, aka the season 1 update, while the other part had already started working on season 2 and the content you've been waiting for quite a while. Now, if we go back to that one tweet that we were talking about when they initially launched this large update, in that tweet they also say our team is working on season 2, so it's the right moment to take a look back and ask you and yada yada yada. But long story short, when season 1 was updated, the next thing that they were working on was season 2. And from what this prior thing from the development section they were talking about, they're saying, well, the other part had already started working on season 2 and the content you've been waiting for quite a while. Boom! If you follow me over here to the roadmap, we actually have a prime candidate for what that thing could be. If you guys see this roadmap, which Kafir has been relatively good with following, now you guys gotta understand that the single player stuff tends to come in order, with the secret update likely being the season 1 update in this case, while the other stuff, like the multiplayer stuff, has been happening on its own order because the multiplayer and the single player are on their entirely independent timelines. Single player like development has nothing to do with multiplayer development. Multiplayer development has nothing to do with single player development. At least that's my understanding from what the developers have shared, what the Last Day on Earth devs have shared about this so far, which means from the single player content left in this roadmap, and they haven't exactly released an updated version of this roadmap, either the secret update has yet to come and the season 1 update wasn't technically the secret update that they were talking about, or the Settlers update is what we can expect in season 2. Now, here's the thing with that, however. The Settlers update is something that, another reason that it could also very well be a part of this is because season 1 kind of added in this teaser for the Settlers update right over here, where they are working on the pickup truck. And if you guys have actually seen the Settlers update and some of the jazz around it, long story short, it is going to encompass us being able to repair an old army base outpost and turn it into kind of like a secondary base of ours and kind of bring it back to its former glory. A big part of that is going to be the ability to actually have a pickup truck serve as an important vehicle of transportation between our own home base and this outpost. And over here, we're seeing a pickup truck that looks to be in very good working order with a survivor working on it. Now, given the fact that this was all added in season 1, and it appears that season 1 is kind of going to build up and lead into season 2 with Last Day on Earth trying to like add in a cohesive story, especially with some of the note stuff that we saw, it would make a lot of sense for, well, this to kind of prelude the season 1 stuff, kind of prelude the season 2 stuff, and having this over here is a perfect candidate for that. So that could be extremely exciting, especially because these sellers, in case you guys are not aware, are literally going to be like people that would help us man our outpost. We could like potentially give them like weapons and stuff to help protect our outpost, potentially have them come out with adventures out like with us, like with the mercenary update back when that was a temporary event and all that type of jazz like that, which is why the sellers update seems so cool, not to mention having a second base somewhere out and about. But let's go back, because in this screenshot they're saying, while the other part had already started working on season 2 and the content you've been waiting for quite a while. Now don't get me wrong, these settlers are something we have been waiting for ever since they were initially revealed. The first time we ever heard about these settlers from the Last Day on Earth devs and they started detailing them and talking about them was actually at the beginning of 2019. Now, ow, I'm dying. Don't get me wrong, that is quite a while back, but something else goes even further back. A little something known as the ATV, actually, which has been teasing us since the beginning of Last Day on Earth. Settlers and all this stuff we did not know about until the beginning of 2019. The ATV has always been teasing us since Last Day on Earth first released, except it hasn't been craftable. So don't get me wrong, both of these things are very much so possible, but the ATV, I think it fits the bill of content we've been waiting for quite a while. Especially given the fact that we have seen actual gameplay previews of the ATV with an updated ATV model being added in. We actually have the ATV being added over to the gas station as well, which is why, again, these are the 2 updates that kind of seem to be the big things that this could be in season 2. Especially given the fact that this does have that little teaser over here saying opening soon. Well, the pickup truck doesn't necessarily have that. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, that confirms the ATV, but I'm saying that there are a lot of signs that do point towards the ATV a little bit more, especially since we have been waiting for this for a little bit longer. We have seen models of the ATV. We have even seen swamp gameplay. And here's the thing. In case you guys do not know, the swamp is going to be the new area added to the west of Last Day on Earth. Over here, however, we cannot access this until we get a certain ATV. This is a map expansion we've also been waiting for quite a while, and once the ATV were to be added in whatever update it does come with, hypothetically, if this season 2 update is it, that would then unlock the swamp, which, guess what? The swamp, at least in my opinion, appears to be closer than the settlers and stuff like that, because we have actually seen gameplay of the swamp, and we have seen like in-game models and looks and updated versions of the ATV. All of which kind of tend to show that the ATV and swamps are looking to be a little bit more prepared compared to the settlers and the outpost update that is kind of the other main candidate from a lot of this kind of evidence that we are gathering. And here's another very interesting thing. This is actually a clip from the season 1 trailer, which teased everything about season 1, a ton of new additions, new locations, new enemies, the bikers, the updated gas station, all that type of jazz. But this one clip in the season 1 trailer was nowhere to be found in season 1, which makes me think it has to be a teaser towards season 2 if what is being shown here had nothing to do with season 1 but was a part of the season 1 trailer. And this location that we're seeing is some sort of a junkyard location with lots of destroyed cars and vehicles. Now, you know what's the last thing we're missing to complete our ATV? In order to complete the ATV, we need an ATV transmission. If there was ever a location to get an ATV transmission from, a scrapyard filled with old vehicles seems like a prime one for there to somewhere as the kind of prized loot of that junkyard for there to be that transmission. And especially with what we've seen out of season 1 and the fact that it appears that these new locations that are going to be added in, they look like they're gonna stick around, man, because season one is over. but the shipwreck is still over there. It's a permanent addition to the map, and that's actually a very large detail because whenever the ATV transmission gets added to the game, it can't just be temporary. Like, you have to be able to get the ATV transmission all the time. Otherwise, Season 2 would be over, and no one would ever get another ATV transmission. So the fact that it appears Season 1 stuff sticks around after Season 1, we can assume that Season 2 stuff will also stick around after Season 2, and as a result of that, I would say that that junkyard could very well be a Season 2 location, and Season 2 will revolve around it. As we saw from Season 1, it appears that there is going to be a big boss. There's the potential for a big boss to be over there. And let me just say, a boss battle seems like a very good way for us to try and get that ATV and ultimately unlock that transmission, unlock the ATV, and get that content we've been waiting for quite a dang while. And with all of this jazz, don't get me wrong, I think the settlers and all that stuff, it's possible, but given that we've seen the ATV and swamp stuff to be a lot more prepared, we've seen that junkyard getting teased, the ATV has that coming soon sign over here, and all this jazz that we've talked about throughout this video so far, it appears that there's a lot of signs pointing towards Season 2 being that content that we've been waiting for ever since Last Day on Earth released. The ever-teasing ATV finally appears like it could be around the corner, and oh baby, when it finally decides to make that appearance, we are gonna not stop until we get that thing crafted up. We are gonna go to the west, explore all the new locations and all that type of jazz, and I cannot wait to record those videos about those upcoming updates, especially because it appears that Season 2 is gonna be interesting from what we're seeing over here, and hopefully a improvement over Season 1, because I think what may have gone on with Season 1 is that they didn't want to release something massive like the ATV in Season 1, because if they messed up Season 1, kinda like they did, they kind of dropped the ball with rewards and some other stuff. I think that they wanted to drop Season 1 initially as a test of what they were doing with the season system, and then kind of take hopefully our feedback and improve upon it for what is shaping up to potentially be a massive Season 2 update with the ATV that we've been waiting for so freaking long, man. And if it finally comes, if we finally get the transmission and we can assemble that thing and drive it around and take it to new locations, that will be absolutely glorious. But with that said, with that done, that's gonna wrap it up for the info that we got for today. Let me know what you guys think about Season 2. What do you guys think about the settlers versus the ATV? Because personally, from a lot of what we talked about today, it does appear that the ATV will be that western area, and that kind of does make sense in the potential timeline, because if you think about it, having an entirely new region would open up that potential outpost as a future location, especially since the west will probably be in the middle of freaking nowhere, like all those swamp zones. They're gonna be pretty far away from our home, and outposts, like in general, the purpose of an outpost is to serve kind of as a secondary base far from home. And being in the middle of all those swamps and stuff would make it a prime location for that. So lots of interesting things, and well, we also got some interesting things in front of us. So proszę bardzo, daj mi coś dobrego. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. I'm always happy to get a little bit of pistol drizzle, Kalashnikov 47, and all sorts of military armor. Actually, I will swap into the military armor to begin with. I want to keep my SWAT armor a little bit pristine, and for what we are venturing down into the bunker for, military armor is more than enough to get the job done, comrade. And let's see. Holy guacamole. Computer, you good? You having a nuclear meltdown? Holy, looking like Chernobyl out here. And unfortunately, green is not looking that great either, but I'll take what I could get. And you know what? I'm never one to complain about food. Always happy to get me some jerky and some food. R.I.P. beans. You will still forever be missed. Especially since I don't get 3 of them and 3 water anymore every single day, man. That is one of the biggest heartbreakers, because ever since a couple updates ago, when you pass level 100, no longer do you get free food. No longer do you get free water. Instead, you get free disappointment. And I've been getting plenty of that. But all right, let's go and take down the blind one, which was never disappointing. I always have a fun time doing that and collecting some loot. And ooh, no, I am starting to smell. That is not good. But let me know what you guys think about this ATV stuff, this whole Season 2 stuff, and all this jazz that we have talked about. Because from what we are seeing, it does appear that Season 2 is shaping up to be that ATV junkyard update that has, from what we've seen so far, it's not confirmed, but there are some hints and evidence pointing towards the the middle of September being when this update could very well. Whoa, hello. I like the loot I'm seeing over there. But with the middle of September, it's like mid to mid-late September being kind of prime time for when the update could drop from what we are seeing. But let me know what you guys think about the Season 2 kind of time window we've shared, kind of the content of Season 2, the ATV stuff we were talking about, maybe some of the settler stuff. Maybe you guys think it'll be like a super update and the settlers and outposts will be in there as well. But I think they're gonna save that for a separate update. That would be too massive of an update. I think the internet would break, so that would not be safe. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it all in that comment section down below. And a reminder that comment is gonna put you 1/3 of the way into the weekly $12 At Your Touch Play Store gift card giveaway. All you gotta do as well is make sure the like button, make sure to subscribe, and that'll let you win on today's video. Y'all can go ahead and enter in on every single last day on Earth video. When Saturday rolls around, we'll pick a random video for the past week, pick a random comment from that random video, and that will be the winner for the week, and we'll kick off the new weekly giveaway that exact same Saturday as well. So make sure you stay tuned with that notification bell to stay up to date with every single video. Y'all can enter in on for that weekly giveaway, not to mention all the other dope survival games going up on the channel as well. They should definitely try to stay in the loop on when you can, because we're checking out all sorts of awesome stuff like parasites. It's not a game we're checking out, but the parasites, they just gotta die, bro. But we're checking out all sorts of other stuff in Miss Survival. That's another awesome survival game we're checking out. We're having a blast because we literally just attacked our first bandit camp and we're building up our base. We found a huge new home that we settled in. We even found a little bit of a sniper tower and potentially a way to get a sniper rifle, along with a ton of other stuff we are working towards in that series. But we're having a blast with that, and I'm about to have a blast with some of these toxic spitters when I blast them sky high. But first things first, let's get a little bit of that in. Shotgun rain in there from there to finish the job. Thank you, Doggo, for doing a little bit of my heavy lifting for me. But not to mention the Ancestors series is still going strong. We're checking out other mobile survival games. 7 Days to Die is about to get a huge update. We're about to wrap up our last season with the biggest and hardest zombie horde ever versus our base defenses we've been working on for the entire Alpha 17 Season 2 series. So all sorts of other awesome stuff that you guys should definitely give a look in case you have not already, because odds are you guys will be enjoying some of these other games. If you guys like Last Day on Earth, great chance these other games will be right up your alley as well, because I love survival games. That's probably the main reason. Die zombies! Yeah, dying zombies too. That's probably one of the main reasons I've been playing all these survival games, because I don't know, I freaking love survival games. If you guys like Last Day on Earth, trust me, we probably have very similar tastes, and there's a lot of reason for me to believe that you will enjoy some of the other stuff we are putting out, so give it a chance. You know, you might very well come across a series that you enjoy to the point where you keep up with it, you keep watching it, or maybe even you start playing the game yourself. And as we did today, that notification bell is also a great way to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest of Last Day on Earth information about everything we know about the game so far, all the info about forthcoming updates, breaking down that information whenever new info comes out, spreading it to y'all eyes and ears, sharing gameplay sneak peeks, gameplay previews, all of that type of jazz for the forthcoming updates. And of course, as soon as those forthcoming updates become updates of the now, we're checking them out to their fullest extent, like we will with the ATV update. And guess what? We gonna build that ATV. We gonna adventure to all sorts of new locations. We're gonna show off how to get that ATV transmission pretty much as soon as anything new comes out to the game. We are checking it out absolutely ASAP and showing off for all you lads and lassies. So I genuinely think that you will enjoy the bejesus side of it. So make sure to have that notification bell to stay in the loop with everything Last Day on Earth and survival related, and especially with some of the big stuff that we have on the horizon and how Season 2 is shaping up. Oh baby, let me just say, you will be, oh, I timed that one awfully. You will be in the loop, and when these new updates come out, dude, that's just my favorite time of all. New update days, whenever we got brand new stuff to be showing off, because trust me, there is not a more fun time in Last Day on Earth than update days. And no heals for you, Mr. Blind One, not allowed. I only have bullets. This is all that is on the menu. I hope that that is okay. I am not willing to accommodate. And no, there is not a kids menu for you, Blind One, because let me just say, I think, you know, I can't exactly ID you, but I got a hunch that you might not exactly be a kid anymore. He seems, and if he is, that might be the buffest, the swollest, largest kid and zombified kid that I have ever seen, and I'm kind of terrified of him. But all right, Blind One, keep up your shenanigans, because soon your doom will be upon us. Run into that wall and die! Yeah, baby, plenty of bullets for you. And can I get, I should use my brain cells a little bit harder, and maybe when he initially runs into the wall, then I use my saw blade ability. Well, to be fair, it is regenerating right now, so I think it might just be time for the AK Thunder to do the finishing blows on the Blind One and get his head stuck into that wall. And thank you for the goodies. I'm gonna go and turn some of these in to the specialist so we can start making our way towards our very next floppy disk. And from there, I mean, those red tickets, we got to continue stockpiling, and pretty soon, I think the next time that we kill the blind one, we should have a red crate awaiting us as well. And I like red crates quite a little bit. They got some pretty good loot in them. They can have C4, one of my favorite loots, because as you may or may not know, I am a raidaholic. Is it a problem? Nah, raiding's too much fun. I don't know what you're talking about. So that C4 always helps us try to break into some of those good bases and get some of that good loot as we continue our daily raiding shenanigans. But seriously, there's some awesome future updates on the horizon that I cannot wait to check out. Hopefully, if you guys have that notification bell hit, it's going to be a great way for y'all to know about these new updates, everything that they add, and be as prepared personally for you guys for what they do have to offer, and being prepared for that new content, and just kind of, you know, any strategies for tackling things, how prepared you should be for maybe new bosses, new enemies, new locations, and any good strategies we could find out for taking them schmucks down. And most important of all, we are gonna have an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic time with all of that new stuff as soon as it does come out, and keep y'all in the loop. And we're gonna have a pretty fan-freaking-tastic time in the meantime as well, because there's always fun to be had in Last Day on Earth. Without further ado, I'm gonna prepare for this raid and talk to y'all in a second. And without further ado, our weaponry is silenced, our blood is thirsty, or we're thirsty for blood. I don't know what it is. We're probably not gonna get much blood anyway, unless we're talking about zombie blood, but we're thirsty for loot, and that's a thirst that what we're about to embark upon can definitely satisfy. So let's craft up a couple of these hatchets over here. Did I toss that extra little bit of gasoline into there to make sure we got plenty of fuel for our travels? We got some food, we got some water. We also do have some stuff still at Bunker Alpha. I know. I did not forget about it. I just did not want to grab it at the moment because I just want to get my hands on this raid, man. I just want to get it, and I'm gonna be completely honest, it's getting a little bit late, and I always hate, you know, posting videos late. So I will go back for that loot after this video is rendering and uploading. But for now, let's get our priorities straight, because I know I left behind a little bit of SWAT armor. It was a little bit dinked up along with other stuff from those chests, but don't get me wrong. That stuff, it will not be left behind. Leaving behind loot. You guys know my lootaholic ways. That's just not in my MO. And hello. That could potentially be some aluminum, some aluminum from the thing with the other thing, the recycler. That could potentially be some. I gotta grab an iron hatchet for my chopper, but those tin cans, if we don't find anything better, our recycler's kind of busy nowadays, you know, not dropping, but recycling guns, so we could hopefully out of those guns get some very nice things that we could then put into modifications for our guns in the future, such as factory parts, carbon composites, etc., etc. Our recycler's kind of working overtime with that, but whenever we do free up some time, recycling tin cans is actually a pretty reliable, maybe not reliable, but it's a pretty nice way of actually being able to literally just from some of your beans that you eat, turn them into potential bonus aluminum. And aluminum is a very good resource to have, if you ask me. And this is a pretty big base as well, which has me a little bit, okay, I guess I'll break that, YOLO. Why not? Because the good thing as well is that because of where we broke into this base, whenever the zombies appear, we actually don't really need to, I don't want to break into the woodworking bench, man. Please chop this wall down. Hello. Is that, I'm not gonna be able to chop this wall down. What? Bro, I have been bamboozled. I cannot chop. Okay, well, I will chop down this wall then. Maybe this will get me where I want to go, because now I had to break that woodworking bench over there for like almost no reason. And there we go. We got a little bit more of this base revealed to us. Let's see what's over in this room, because it's looking like it's quite the elaborate little maze. Oh, and the maze gets more elaborate. It gets elaborater. I don't know, but there's more stuff, and there's still one more room that we could break into. And will this reveal even more chests? No, this revealed literally one furnace over there. And I'm gonna be completely honest, our hatchets are looking a little bit thin. Now, I still got a couple of emergency hatchets in my inbox I might be able to grab from the season 1 rewards, and we might need to do that. But if not, I think, come on, could there be something good in some of these chests? Like, please, is that too much to ask? I mean, these iron hatchets should still last for a little bit. I don't exactly want to craft anything. I could, though. No, I did. I did not want to chop a random wall, game. Yeah, dang it. But all right. Noise shouldn't be too big of an issue. We should be able to break into all of these. And hello. I like what I'm seeing over there. Nothing like some slightly precious metals to bring a smile to a raider's face. But this is currently our last hatchet. And yeah, we're kind of getting to the point where I think we're going to be needing another one. In the wise words, hello, of DJ Khaled. For a base that didn't require C4. Because lately, I'm not going to lie, we're just not finding bases that need C4. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like we're having it. Also, go doggo! Woo! Do that heavy lifting over there. This hatchet's probably gonna break in... still nothing that super amazing over here. This hatchet's gonna be breaking pretty soon. We probably won't even be able to break this thing before... There we go. Off Vitra, shame to you. Go doggo! Kill the bloater! Woo! Proud of you, baby. But all right, here we got some of those iron hatchets we were talking about, and also that elite husky puppy, which low-key I still gotta redeem, and maybe will help us get. Dude, if we could get a true friend husky, that would be incredible. I'm actually low-key crossing my fingers that maybe that could happen, and we're not really. Actually, listen. This base doesn't have super amazing things. A lot of it is just loot that I already have, but something that I low-key do need quite a little bit, and I'm willing to sacrifice some other stuff that I have here amidst all of this noise that these zombies are making. Low-key, I'm game to actually grab all the paint that we can, because as you guys know, I didn't want to chop that game. Dude, I gotta be more careful. I'm just off my chopping game today. I think it's because my game, like literally today, my computer is just being a little bit on the trolley side. Not to be confused with the trolley side. It's being a little bit on the trolley side. And what it's doing is literally every time I'm about to access a chest, it just kind of like lags my game just a little bit to the point where I go slightly crazy because I chop something instead. So I'm gonna be extra careful now. Grab everything that we can. I will also be drinking our water. Hope that that's cool, dude. Oh, and I'll spread a little bit of vitamin P in this corner. Why not? Come one, come all, zombies. I got plenty of vitamin P for you, and you. It's like a watering hole over here. Oh, I need a shower now. That's not good. But it's all good because, oh, baby, they ought to get things suspiciously close, but... We could also potentially, another thing you guys could do with this base, as you guys can see that there are tons of these spikes over here, and if you continuously kind of like do what we're doing here and have all the zombies kind of run through a couple of different locations, what they will do is just repeatedly hit themselves on spikes, which is actually very nice. Like we run over here and now a bunch of zombies are going to run around a bunch of those spikes, and this process will repeat. A lot of these fast biters are still alive though, but I think if we put them through one more rinse in the cycle, so to speak, they should for the most part fall to their painful deaths. Fast biters, come this way. There you go. Honestly, I could just continue just like running back and forth between these two and then just kind of continue running around this one spike that we have set up here. So that's actually kind of low-key hilarious. So that floater bloater is about to die. He has 1 health, dog. Why are you attacking? The dog couldn't finish the floater bloater with 1 health. Are you serial right now? Well, that's all good. All the fast biters are dead. That was the main thing I was concerned about. Let's put the finishing blows into these dudes. Where's that floater bloater? I don't know. Is everyone dead? Woo! I think everyone's dead. But yeah, I don't know if this hatchet's gonna be enough to last us through everything we want to do. I don't want to break that chest over there. I do want to make a quick run back to a chopper though, because the chopper is where we will put away all of the best loot that we've gotten, because this is not a revenge raid. This is a normal raid that we got. I know, dude, lately just revenge raids have not been happening to me. A little bit of a bummer, but so be it. Gotta roll with the punches sometimes. And always, whenever you have a chopper during a raid, put away the most valuable stuff that you find. Electronic circuits are always incredibly valuable. Always put those away, but always put away debatably the best stuff that you found, just so when the raiders ask for their quote-unquote fair share of the raid, I mean, they're not really getting their fair share, because in my eyes, their fair share would be nothing. But in their eyes, they want quite a little bit. But if you hide the best stuff, they won't ask for as much, which is kind of nice. But hopefully we can get some revenge raids going. And dude, I don't know what it is. I feel like revenge raids tend to give me better bases, or at least bases that require C4. Like, is that just me? I feel like I've asked this before, and people are like, nah, Star, you're crazy. But I swear, it feels like we just get more bases that way. Or maybe just lately, they've just been given more wooden bases, so it requires less C4 to get a lot of this stuff. But I don't know, man. Like, we just haven't been, like, don't get me wrong. It's actually really nice because it's giving us an opportunity to stockpile a little bit of C4 on our end, because we're usually freaking struggling to keep up with the supply demand to trying to freaking raid every day. But I mean, lately it's been relatively good to us. I mean, it's been bad to us in a sense, but good to us in a different sense, depending on how you look at it. And let us break into the rest of these things. I will also fill up my inventory with the rest of what we can. But yeah, hopefully we can get some better base rates, because I feel like lately we just haven't been getting anything super amazing. Like, we've gone through some really lucky runs in the past, but lately, I don't know. I feel like not revenge raids are just never as good. And without further ado, we still got a couple of workbenches we got to break into. We might need more than one hatchet to do that, though, because I do want to break into these 2 furnaces. So let's go ahead and grab one more, and with that, you should have more than enough to break into what we need. However, as soon as we break into one of these, the big one will be summoned, and we gotta worry about him teleporting to us. Luckily, we can actually play some mind games with him that will hopefully keep him off our back. Hey, and we can actually run over to this wall, for example, and the big one will, oh, there's that screen shake we're oh so accustomed to. Run over that wall and hit us, and every time the big one at least swings at us, he will not be inclined to teleport, which is kind of nice. So we're gonna get 2 chops into this chest. Oh, don't hurt me, Toxic Abomination. And then we're gonna try and bring everyone as far away from that chest as we can. So ultimately what we could try and do is break into it and see if there's anything good, and then we got to go ahead and skiddity daddle. Okay, a little bit of food, and honestly, just a whole bunch of rocks. I'm out, not trying to stick around with the big one. Chillin'. And with that, we're out like a villain. Oh, bars. I know. Sorry if I just exploded your phone. Listen, it's unfortunately, it's not covered by the Starsnipe insurance, so don't know what to tell you. Bad luck, I guess. But unfortunately, the real villain, of course, being the big one, chased us out, and at least we made it out safely, so we got that going for us. But yeah, with that done, we got some okay stuff from that raid, but could have been better. I definitely would have wished personally for better, but yeah. With that said, with that done, that's actually gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up for me for now. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching. Have yourselves an awesome one, and I'll talk to you next one. See ya.